time for mommy talk or parent talk. If you're a new mom or expecting, I know the feeling, the anxiety, the fear, the excitement, but really like the anxiety. At least in my case. I don't consider myself a new mom anymore now that the twins are over 3. Juliana's going on 5 this year. So this video is kind of like tips I wish I knew or things that I wish I learned before I had Juliana. I am by no means a professional. I'm not trying to give advice to you, but maybe this can be helpful to you. So number 1, the birth plan may change. I remember before I had Juliana, I was so certain that I was gonna have a natural birth. I wasn't gonna have an epidural. There's no way. I am a strong woman. I could handle it. And then I was 38 weeks into my pregnancy. I felt something and I told Benji, there's something happening right now. Like, I think I need to go to the hospital.
We don't know if these are contractions. I don't know.
Well, I didn't even think we'd even be thinking about this till like October, like Halloween.
We ended up going to the hospital and sure enough, I was going into labor. But my water didn't break. So there's a myth. Your water doesn't have to break when you're going into labor. In fact, I remember one of the nurses had to break my water for me. The pain was so excruciating. I tried different things. The nurse was really nice because she knew my birth plan. She knew I tried to go natural. So she's like, you can go on this ball and you can bounce up and down. You can squeeze your husband's hands. I did a lot for several hours and I was like, no. Give me the epidural. And Benji was like, are you sure, honey? And I remember the nurse was like, she wants the epidural. So I got the epidural and it was one of the best things during labor that I remember.
I feel so relaxed.
She went with the epidural.
It went from Prego Monster to
Prego
I feel
Angel.
like I'm at a beach.
I was finally able to relax and sleep before Juliana was ready to come out. So I think I was in labor for 11 hours or so. I don't remember, but I sure do remember the epidural and how amazing it felt. And I have no regrets. So yes, the birth plan may change and that's okay. And don't ever feel guilty for getting an epidural. So next is oral hygiene. So this is something that you never think about, or it's never ever brought up at a doctor's appointment or when you're reading articles. I mean, I don't want to say never, but it's often not. But this was brought to my attention by Crest and Oral-B. They have a campaign right now called Brushing for Two. They did a study with over 1,000 participants of pregnant moms. They found that up to 70% of pregnant women experience more gingivitis in association to hormonal changes during pregnancy. If you really think about it, it is going to be more common. The gingivitis, the plaque. It's common in pregnancies to have morning sickness, and I quote morning because the sickness that you get could really be all day. Anytime I smelled coconut oil, I would get so nauseous, and times I would vomit. And all that acid is gonna ruin your teeth and gums and teeth decay and ooh. Which although may seem common sense, it's just something that can slip your pregnant mind. So if you've watched my vlogs or my videos since way back in 2008, I am a loyal Crest user. I love Crest toothpaste from the beginning. So if there's one that I could recommend to expectant mothers, it's the Crest Pro Health. And I recommend this one specifically because this has active ingredients that will prevent cavities, gingivitis, sensitivity, plaque, tartar, and it also whitens and freshens your teeth. So if you'd like to know more about Crest and Oral-B products, be sure to check out their website at crest.com and oralb.com. And the Brushing for Two campaign also supports March of Dimes, which I am a huge supporter. They promote stronger moms and healthier babies. If you are expecting, please be more conscious of your oral health and brush for two. Jaundice is very common in newborn babies. Here's Juliana, brand new baby, and I think like second day in, I noticed she was really yellow. I honestly didn't think much of it because she's half Filipino and a quarter Japanese. But no, that was clear signs of jaundice, and jaundice is when babies have high levels of bilirubin in their blood, and that causes yellowness in their skin and their eyes. And the baby is supposed to naturally flush the bilirubin out through urine or stool, but in her case, she had higher levels, so she needed a light treatment. With high levels, if it's not treated, it could cause cerebral palsy, it could cause deafness, other symptoms. I remember receiving the phone call, getting the report back, and the nurse, she was almost like, okay, you need to get here right away, bring a pack of clothes, Juliana needs to be treated. And it was like the most terrifying thing. I felt like, what is happening to my baby? Is she gonna be okay? And so I had to take her to NICU, and I was so terrified because I didn't know anything about jaundice. I didn't know anything about bilirubin levels, but lower levels, it's so common, and you can just treat it with sunlight. So after the fact, hearing that it was so common really calmed my senses, and I felt better right away. But still, I know it's still a little frightening, but it's not the end of the world. Everything's gonna be okay. I just wish I knew it beforehand, just knowing how common it was, and it just would have saved so much stress and fear. Nursing a baby can definitely be a challenge. So my plan was to nurse for up to a year. It's a known fact that mother's milk is the most nutritious for the baby. Right from the beginning, I had problems lactating. I just wasn't producing enough milk. Juliana was always fussy. I was so strict with her. I was like, okay, you're just gonna use my milk. I'm not gonna introduce formula because that's not my plan. Formula is a no. So I was constantly nursing, and she was so fussy, and I felt so upset at myself, and I felt like I wasn't doing my job as a mom, and I was doing everything, anything imaginable. I was taking goat's roux, I was taking, I think it's called like the malunggay oils in my foods. I was pumping all the time so I could trick my body into producing more milk, and it just wasn't enough. And I just felt like a bad mother. I don't know why I'm crying about this. It's been so long. I'm so envious of my girlfriends that have babies and they're able to produce mounts and mounts of milk. Anyways, I wish I could tell myself, Judy, you're not a bad mom, and it's okay to give and introduce formula. You want your baby to be satisfied. And my fifth and final tip is to listen to your instinct. With Juliana, I listened to every single word that my doctor told me. And I'm not trying to devalue my doctor's opinions or their tips, but there were times when I felt like, should I do this? Like, for instance, waking up Juliana, I was told to feed every 2 to 3 hours. I even kept a little journal and put down the time that I fed, which, like, looking back on now, I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, it's so unnecessary. Like, did I really have to do it? I just spent all this time doing this, which, you know, if you want to do it, that's fine, but it just seems so unnecessary. One of my girlfriends, she had a baby at the same time I had Juliana, and she never woke up her baby to feed. I wish I knew that it's okay to let your baby sleep and you don't have to wake up to nurse, because they'll wake up when they're ready to feed. And I really believe it's natural for a mother to just naturally learn how to parent on their own, and everything is just gonna be fine. So anyway, those are my 5 tips or things I wish I knew. If you have any tips you'd like to share down below or your experiences, please share. I would love to know, and hopefully it will be helpful to other moms that are reading. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are not subscribed yet, check out my daily vlog channel. I vlog almost daily, 6 times a week on It's Judy's Life, and then I have another channel where I talk about more beauty related things on It's Judy Time. I will catch you guys later. Bye!